I like it.
All right, where's this from? What is this from?
Sounds like
Saturday
Kenny.
Night Live.
Yeah.
Is it Kenny?
Is it Kenny?
It's Saturday Night Live, man.
I
I'll
thought
give you
so.
this
All
one.
right.
You'll be too distracted with the other one.
I like it. It sounds like Kenny.
All right, question 1 for you boys. LeBron James teared up last night after his final game. It could be his final game in Cleveland. He might be done after this year. He was emotional. The Lakers come to Detroit on March 23rd. Is that must visit a game for Detroiters? Has that become the hottest ticket of the season because it might be LeBron's last game in Detroit?
It's my birthday, so I get that. What day of the week is that this year?
It's a Monday.
It's a Monday.
Yep.
So there's no competition with the NCAA tournament.
Nope.
I think that would be a hot ticket to have. Yeah, I do. LeBron James is one of the all-time greats, if not the all-time great. I mean, there's obviously great debate about that, but still averaging 22 points a game, playing on a pretty good Lakers team right now. And Luka is his teammate. So people like that part of it. So, I think it's going to be a
Must see.
ticket.
Yeah. Kang, is that must go to for you?
Yeah, I think it should be for most basketball fans. I mean, it's not official or anything. I think LeBron does come back next year, but it's possible that it could be a retirement type tour. Like I said, he hasn't made it public or anything, but it could be his last game. And Luka's a great watch always.
Sat in the stands for a couple games this year. This might be one to just get a credential to. So we can go to the press conference afterwards or get in the locker room and see what he has to say about Detroit. I mean, he actually mentioned Detroit by name because his memories go back. He mentioned Detroit by name last night after the game in Cleveland, saying, I remember what it was like going up against a Piston team that nobody thought we could beat. And, of course, he had the legendary game, the 48 points, 25 straight against Detroit. But
was that a good game for him?
Yeah. All right, next question. Yes or no, will Giannis get dealt?
No, not at the trade deadline. I think they'll wait till the offseason and open it up for everybody to see, and then it happens. I mean, if what we've seen are the packages that are being thrown around to try to acquire him, none of them are all that impressive. So I just don't see that. Maybe he gets traded before the NBA draft. Once you see where some draft picks actually are and they can gauge that. But I don't think he gets traded by the deadline. No.
Does Giannis get traded, Kang?
I don't have a strong lean here, but my lean is yes. I'm just going to say some team is eventually going to offer up everything. Bottomless picks is where you start, just like the endless apps. And then you go from there. Like you pick and choose my rosters for one guy. And I think someone like the Warriors or, with Steph on his last maybe run or two here comes up with something humongous. But I think he does end up getting moved. Everyone's been waiting for this to like everything else. I guess no trade's going to happen until Giannis gets dealt. So I think he does.
Yeah, I'm like both of you. I don't have a strong lean one way or another. So the needle points a little bit towards yes. And I don't think it's going to be a team at the top. I think it's going to be a middling team looking for, because I think that's going to attract Milwaukee thinking, oh, these picks will be better. So I'm looking at an Orlando or somebody like that that's in the middle of maybe Phoenix, a team that's in the middle of the pack, struggling, maybe make the playoffs, maybe won't make the playoffs, like Phoenix. And I think that's going to be the kind of team that actually puts together the package.
If you trade for Giannis, do you have to take his brothers too or no?
No.
One of them at least.
At least one?
All right, next question in a Piston blitz thingy. Should Trajan Langdon get the same criticism as Brad Holmes, Steve Yzerman, and Scott Harris if he doesn't make a trade at the trade deadline? Kang, why don't you go first for this one?
I'm sorry, I was just reading something.
It's okay. Should Trajan Langdon get the same criticism as Brad Holmes, Yzerman, and Harris if he doesn't make a trade at the deadline?
No, absolutely not. But that doesn't mean he couldn't be criticized. I mean, but he's got to be criticized on his own. The other sports and other teams have nothing to do with what he and the Pistons are trying to do. So, yeah, that's my answer, and I'm sticking to it.
I think that he'll deserve criticism if there's that player that you think that they really should have gone after, gets dealt, and then you see the
return.
The return, it's like that's all it took. Why didn't they go for it? I think they'll be open to criticism for that, but at the same time, it's the best team in the East by far, and I can understand why they wouldn't want to shake it up, but most teams, when they're on top like this, like to add gas to it. So I think I want them to add gas to it. They should do something. So, yeah, I think he's going to open himself up for criticism if he doesn't.
It's these guys in Detroit, our GMs have just gotten slayed. We could take calls on them all day about not making trades, but at the end of the day, we don't know what trades, and Harris made some moves, but we don't know what trades were on the table, and that's one of those things that would be great to know in sports, what deals came close to being made, what offers were made. Unless you find out, I think it's hard to have real legitimate criticism. The way the team is playing right now, it is absolutely a viable option to not make a move and still win the East. If you don't believe that, then it's well over a year of evidence here that this Piston team is very, very competitive in this Eastern Conference. On top of that, you have pending decisions that hang over Ivey and Duren at future contracts that absolutely impact what contracts you can take on. So I don't think he deserves a ton of criticism. With that said, another Trajan question. At this point, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you trust Piston GM or director of vice president or president of basketball operations, Trajan Langdon? How much do you trust him? Kang, I'll start with you here.
Right now, I trust him 8.5. I trust him a lot. He hasn't done anything wrong or that deserves huge criticism, so I trust him a lot. Kind of like you, Gator, we'll see after the trade deadline. He could open himself up to some criticism. I don't know what's available, what's out there, but right now I trust him very much.
I want to go a little bit higher than you, and I'm not sure if I should. 8.5 sounds pretty good. I might want to go 9. Just based on what he has done as the GM. I mean, they hired J.B. Bickerstaff. That's a win, a huge win right there. They've kept the core intact. The players they brought in have been really nice additions to this team. They made some tough decisions in the offseason and went out and got other guys, and those guys are stepping in and doing a great job. I mean, let's think about this. They had Malik Beasley all lined up ready to go, and then poof, he's gone because of scandal and investigations. And like, well, what do they do now? And he's like, it's okay, we're fine. We got this. And if he's going to say we're good, like Dan Campbell said we're good, I mean, proof's in the pudding. They're 34-11. Hard not to say that they're good. I think they're good. And yeah, I trust Trajan Langdon. I'm going to go 8.5. I'll leave it at 8.5.
I'm at about a 6.
Oh.
And it's because most of this roster was put together by the previous GM as far as the draft picks are concerned. I think he's got a steadying hand, and I do like bringing back Tobias Harris. That has worked out way better than many of us thought it would. And I thought the Schroeder trade was very shrewd. So, yeah, I like it, but I think there's a lot of proving to be done here.
He seems to be really good at the minor, smaller moves that turn out to be great, like Javonte Green. The Malik Beasley thing, he signed him originally, right? And then when they lost him, he went and got Duncan Robinson, who's worked out well. And like I said, Javonte Green, Dennis Jenkins, can he make the bigger move to get him over the top? We'll see.
All right, NBA trade deadline a week away. Next question, will Tobias Harris still be a Piston next week? Scott Anderson.
No, I don't think so. I think that $26 million that he's, obviously it's prorated when you come to the trade deadline, but I think that freeing that money up for some team in trade, I think is big. And any team that's going to talk to the Pistons are going to want that because of it. So I think he does get moved. I think the team kind of knows it. They love Tobias Harris as a reason to. He's a great guy, but it's not like he's signed to a multi-year contract. He's a free agent at the end of the year. So if you have an opportunity to go ahead and make yourself a better team and he has to be part of the deal, you got to do it. You got to do what's better for the team.
Kang, will Tobias Harris be a Piston next week?
I think he will be. I think Trajan's going to find himself in a spot where he doesn't feel like he can break up this team. And then that's where I think he opens himself up for criticism. I would make a trade. I've already said that. I'm sticking to it. But I don't think that Trajan will. And I think he's going to keep the squad together. And if anything, it's a minor move that doesn't involve moving Tobias Harris.
Yeah, I've said it all along. That's what I expect. I expect the next Dennis Schroeder kind of trade, which would not involve moving Tobias Harris. Next question, Gator. Will the Pistons rue trading Ron Holland if they did? Would that be something that comes back to haunt them?
No. I don't think they will, because I think the player they're going to get in return if they were to trade Ron Holland in some kind of a package deal would be an all-star type player. I would firmly believe that. I like Ron Holland a lot, and I think he's going to stay a Piston. I don't think they're going to move him, but if they do, it has to be for something where you're giving up the good for the great. And he's got a high ceiling, but I don't look at Ron Holland and say, oh, that guy's an all-star, a future all-star. I don't. I think he does all these little things that I'd love to have in a player, in a solid role player, playing defense, has the hustle. He's one of these guys that's an irritant on the court, and you need guys like that. And, oh, by the way, can knock down a shot from time to time, and is seemingly a very well-liked teammate. But, no, I don't think that it would be something they rue.
Okay.
No, they won't rue the day. I like Ron Holland a lot, like you, Gator. He's obviously a culture guy, a hustle guy, plays defense, and he's bought into everything JB Bickerstaff has coached. But with that being said, he's not an all-star. He's not even in the Rising Star game, and I don't know if he'll ever be an all-star. So I think it's easier to find a guy like that down the road, and I don't think they would rue the day.
I think they would, but it wouldn't be for a while. He is only 20, and I think that's one that if they made a trade for him right now, they value him so much that the return would have an immediate impact. And if you win an NBA championship, nobody cares. But if Ron Holland's included in a trade, I agree with you. I think it's for a very, very good player. I think eventually Ron Holland's going to be a star. I think he is going to be a star in this league. I think he brings it to the table, a lot of skill set. He just needs more time, more seasoning. But I guess if you win a title, doesn't matter. You give up that player. One more question. Jaden Ivey, will he be a very good NBA player when it's all said and done?
Yes. Okay. I think he will be a very good NBA. I think he will be a very good basketball player when all is said and done. He's got to heal from his injuries. I just don't think it's going to be here in Detroit. I think he's going to end up going somewhere else, either by trade or in the offseason they just decide not to offer him an extension.
Okay.
I don't think it's going to happen for Jaden Ivey. We're calling it early now, of course, but I've seen this happen a lot throughout the NBA. A guy just he suffers a setback and just can't get back on track where he was possibly headed. This is a young league, man. Hungry players are coming in all the time. So I think, and he doesn't end up being what he should have been.
There you go. I agree. I think he will be really good when it's all said and done. And I'm totally distracted. You're right. This song,
it's the best.
Derails. Completely derails.
And it does sound like Kenny, am I right?
Kind of does, yeah. Straight ahead, if you were forced to do it, what would you choose? We will get to that at 11:48 on Karsch and Anderson on 97.1.